Is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I see a lot of things, man. A lot of messed up things. Yo, I see people getting swing by over and over. I see people charging $1 for a 50 cent. So anything just to reach their quota. Even sell you a fresh car with a messed up motor. I see dudes in their fresh
Talking Heads with Nazi and MJ is brought to you by Burger King, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
I see a dude get knocked down. I see him when he dropped. And the car that flicking hit him, it didn't even stop. I see a dude almost dead when he fall off his bike. I even see a dude choke when he was holding the mic. I see a woman punch him out in his jaw. And I see him hit the floor. I never seen nothing like that before. I see people working hard and they ain't getting no praise. I see people who deserve it, they ain't getting no raise. And I see a lot of husbands forgetting their wedding bond. I see a lot of young girls go crazy for married man. I see dudes go on fishing trips and end up missing. That's the kind of bad things that I'm seeing my vision. You gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta. Yeah, yo, I see a lot of young dudes going to jail for gun. I don't know, they must think going to jail is fun. And I see a couple things that kind of make me behaving like the opposite sex. I see a girl receive a text and she busts out crying. I see people telling lies like they see a car jump the curb and run straight in the bush. I see him trying to push it out, so I'll give him a push. I see a dude lock his keys in his trunk. It was funny, I didn't see him drinking, but I see he was drunk. I see a lot of big girls trying not to be slim. I see a dude riding his bike with no tires on the rims. And then I see something that I thought was funny. I see a Jones walking around.
You brought it up and noted to the Friday, June 26th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ and the company right up until 6 p.m. on this Friday Week in Review edition. And of course, you know, Papa Smurf bringing us in. MJ straight from your hometown, Freeport, from the ports.
Yeah,
Papa
absolutely.
Smurf doing it to you. Dug in the crates
so
on that one.
talented. I like it. I like the Bahamian music.
I think we can bust off some Bahamian today, you know? Just all Bahamian today.
That's a nice vibe for a Friday.
Mm-hmm. Got a couple we could break off for sure. But we got lots to talk about, too. Don't worry about the music. We can make sure I throw some songs in. But, boy, I tell you, where do we begin? Well,
I gotta start just by, sending thoughts and prayers to everyone in Venezuela. I'm sure by now most people have heard that they suffered 2 back-to-back earthquakes, and now we're getting reports that they have at least 50,000 persons missing, and at least 235 confirmed that those earthquakes were devastating to Venezuela. And of course, our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers go.
That was quite a blow to Venezuela, and I think other islands in the region are being affected by the aftershock as well. But Venezuela, like I said, I mean, it is absolutely catastrophic what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's a lot, and if you see some of the videos circulating online, with earthquakes, they just happen. Sometimes scientists can tell you, okay, we see a little fault activity here. We may expect something. And there have been a lot of smaller earthquakes in the region, but those ones, 7.1 and 7.5 on the Richter scale, and then back to back, and the buildings. Did you see the buildings shaking? And many of them fall, and now you're getting reports of so many persons missing. It's a really sad situation for Venezuela.
Very sad situation, and God knows just what he's doing in the sense of natural disasters, because, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but we Bahamians should be grateful that we've never had to experience an earthquake like that. We get warnings with hurricanes from days out, and we still slump and don't prepare like we should.
Yeah, and
Can
then
you imagine
sometimes
if
the
just an
storms are
earthquake was
just,
thrown on top of us? God forbid. I don't think we would ever recover from that.
we have been spared that so far. But the hurricanes these days are very, they're devastating. So like to
We can
experience
take
a
nothing away
natural
from the
disaster,
devastation and the natural disaster aspect of it, but
but the scale that they're dealing with these particular earthquakes is really high. So yeah, just thinking about
and
them,
there's a video circulating out of California where one of the seismic plates moved, and it moved almost like 3 football fields in less than 5 seconds.
that's crazy.
And
Yeah.
that should tell you that the earth is sending us messages that, hey, we need to do things a little bit differently.
Well, it's definitely alive, that's for sure.
So hug a tree this weekend. Just walk up
Oh,
to a
be
random
quiet.
tree and hug a tree.
Shut up. You will take something serious and make it a joke, right? Oh Lord. Okay.
I was actually going to hug a tree, but
Go ahead and do that.
I'm trying to decide which tree I'm going to hug. I don't want to
Another
hug the wrong one and get poison ivy and then get sick, So
hug a tamarind tree.
I think I just could go hug something. I can't hug no coconut tree. That's too much nuts on that. I ain't trying to hug no tree with nothing. No. We'll figure it out.
Tonight there's gonna be.
I got a tree in mind. I think I know which one I get hold on.
I saw a notice online from the Bahamas Humane Society. They're saying that they want you to please secure your pets this evening because at around 6:45 p.m. to they're saying 4 F-18s, possibly F-35s, and wow, if they
Could be down.
F-35s, that they're going to be celebrating the U.S. their 250-year celebration, and they're going to fly over the U.S. Embassy. This says that they're going to circle the island twice within a mile of the shoreline at 1,000 feet. Wow, that is going to be loud. And then there are going to be fireworks. So yeah, if you have your pets, that the sounds and then the fireworks afterwards will definitely be shocking to them. So please make sure that your pets are all snug and secure, and give them hugs while this is happening because the sounds will likely disturb them.
Well, and I appreciate that, and I will make sure, we will make sure our pets are taken care of. But 1,000 feet off the shoreline, I get under the bed myself too.
That's very low, right? Like low for F-35s. They're doing big stuff for this 250-year celebration this year. Wow.
But, perk when you live in the West, you can get them free fireworks.
Yeah, and circling that very expensive embassy they got down there on Shirley Street.
All right,
Be interesting.
We got lots to talk about, and we want you to chime in. We want you to be part of the conversation. If you want to be part of the conversation, you want to be a talking head, here's how.
Here's how you can become brought to you by BTC.
Fax lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free and anyone in the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it on. That's how you get it on for fresh new smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Let's go to the phone lines. We got callers on the line talking heads.
Hey, Naughty and MJ.
Hey, good afternoon.
Politician one need to stay indoors during that flyby.
What's going on, Mystery?
You know something?
I just catch myself as soon as this.
Too much. Too
Mystery
much.
is trouble. But you say politician number one need to stay inside during flyby.
I mean,
I was wondering why
agree.
they're sending 4 planes. Normally they're just saying 2.
F-35 too. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, politician one need to stay indoors. Stay indoors, sir.
Thank you, Mystery.
All right, Mystery. Be safe, man. Take care.
Y'all really do it for more on a
Zero
Friday.
chill. But yeah, it's gonna be. Listen out for it. We're down 6:45 and 7.
Yeah, according to the Humane Society, 6:45 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Bahamians, out looking at that. Those are always interesting to view. Seeing them at football games, but never here at home. So
Yeah, that's out the football game flyovers for sure. All right, let's get up into the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
And here's what's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Music Matters since 1844, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. And let's start off with science blast government over blackouts, as they should be, because we shouldn't be having blackouts or load shedding or none of the above. 2 convicted of armed robbery. Government working to address backlog, AG says. Senior citizens' homes appeal for water donations amid summer heat.
Yeah.
Bahamas Air resumes flights to Cat Island. Gardner withdrew $20K in cash from top-notch builders' bank accounts day before election.
Oh, boy.
And subsequently, the main headline, Gardner denied bail. Dun, 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 dun.
It's really recently said by the judge in that case. The judge said that the weight of evidence against the defendant is very strong. And he also, said that he don't think that there's anything that Mr. Gardner could offer that would convince him that he's not flight risk. So he denied bail. He, gave us some idea on his thoughts. He's supposed to be a neutral arbiter on the weight of the evidence. He says it's very strong. That's not a conviction. Of course, they still have to go through a trial, but this is a lot. And then the recent revelation of the $20 and having Mr. Gardner's team, his own defense team, arguing essentially that the funds were not drug related, but rather election related. This is a lot.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a lot. So I don't know. I don't know what the stance is going to be on some politicians that have been ducking and dodging questions. But now, as we suspected, there are not less questions. There are more questions. And the fact that he has linked this to a political campaign, I mean, I guess at this point, we basically need every party to let the Bahamian people know whether or not Mr. Gardner was in fact a donor to their party. And, if they are going to corroborate his stance that this was to do with campaign, which campaign? Whose campaign?
Listen, I always said there was a reason why he held on to $30K in cash, 3 passports, or 3 cell phones, and an envelope with politician number 1 name on it. It was redacted.
Yeah,
That wasn't for souvenir sake. That was for times like now.
This is a lot. We need to know whether or not any political party can confirm or deny whether Mr. Gardner or any of the companies associated with him, because I think the account he withdrew it from was a business account, whether or not he made campaign contributions or if he paid campaign expenses for them, so it's not going away. More questions are being asked. I'm curious about money for, supposedly, according to his legal filing,
And
money for campaign-related purposes coming from a business account. That raises red flags in itself. I mean, what kind of governance is happening? How do they, write that down on their books? Is the board aware? Do they have a board? I do remember when he served as the president of the company, I believe, our current Minister of Finance said that, ostensibly his job was to help them sort their corporate governance. I wonder what that looks like now. And the fact that Mr. Gardner was able to sign as a single signatory to withdraw what many Bahamians consider a large amount of cash, $20,000, as a sole signatory, that also raises questions. What exactly is his position with the company? How long has he been in that position? And has he been a signatory on the account since his days as president of this company? What exactly? There are so many questions, and they're not going to be easy to evade because, Mr. Gardner is basically fighting for his life. He's 58 years old. He has this minimum sentence of at least a decade hanging over his head. And so he's going to want to, ensure that he could put up a proper defense in terms of the money aspect of it, just that part that the prosecution brought in. So he's going to have to say exactly, or say, and I can see that coming. So yeah, persons out there that need to say whatever they need to say to the Bahamian people, I think now is a better time than later. Because if it comes out after the fact, it may look a little bit different.
Oh, wow. We got the Texas off the chain today, MJ. Naughty and MJ, you think they had to rendition capital HRP -1 question mark?
I missed that. You broke up a little bit. They're celebrating 250 years, and they're doing it big, right? We've seen all the celebrations they have planned in the U.S.
Mystery got the joke of the day, though. Fly over to pick up politician number one.
Not in an F-35.
Good Naughty good day, MJ and Naughty. The U.S. jets are just the beginning. I heard politician number one, and then Kim done stock up on Pampas for the flyover tonight. Forget fireworks. Hey, you mean USA coming to pick up them politicians?
They're celebrating. They're celebrating their independence, their 250th anniversary of independence. So
politician loves to say push out. Let's see who we pushing out tonight with all that flyover.
I don't know. It's different though, right? I mean, it is a big. What's 200 is?
Not a long time.
I can't remember what that one is called. I'll look it up, but that's a big celebration, So props to them. But wow, bringing the F-35s in little old Bahamas, that's interesting.
Naughty and MJ, as I thought about the flyover, I remembered the flamingo. We've had some amazing stories over the course of our history. Cuban Meigs, Buzzin', Sleepy Inagua, Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers seeking refuge. Then the U.S. jets show up to the rescue. It's an amazing story. And then comes cocaine in the house, a left crash.
Yeah, one is a little less inspiring than the other.
Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty. MJ, a business account that he had no registered position in. This the weirdest thing ever.
I'm trying to figure it out. I got the same amount of questions. There are now more questions than there were before we got this court filing. And I think that, some of the narratives put out there by politicians and political parties need some cleaning up now, because we're not quite understanding, what's happening there, and the link to the PPPs. Let's not forget that, right? That's a big deal.
What's going on with a lot of that too.
Because in their filing, the prosecutors in the U.S. did link Mr. Gardner, his companies, to not only a large multi-million-dollar government PPP, but so, as I said before, yes, we have to let the case play out, but there are some governance questions that are rightfully in the public domain now, and there's no reason to be silent on those.
The problem is we're silent on everything. We need to start talking up on a lot more things, because people need to know this is head scratching stuff.
I mean, at least move to protect the reputation of the company. You have a major Bahamian asset of a bank being mentioned tangentially. I mean, and then the original accusations in the complaint. This is getting messier. It's not getting cleaner. It's getting messier. And so just to say, we don't want to, I think there's some reporting of the Prime Minister being asked whether or not he wants to comment on the $30,000 and the campaign connection, and he just said no. I don't know how long that position, can hold if the Prime Minister wants to maintain public trust, because some of the narratives I've seen already are not, I'm sure, entirely accurate. But this is what happens when there's a vacuum of information and a vacuum in terms of strong leadership on this. This is the reputation of the country that we're talking about, aside from what Mr. Gardner is experiencing in his personal capacity legally. You now have this money, this case being tied to cash, being tied to, what did he say? Campaign engagement. I mean, you can't just be quiet on this. I need to know which parties may have received donations from Mr. Gardner, and if that, squares what he's alleging that that's what the funds are for, squares with their history of association with him, if there's any there.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. 30,000 who was left. How much he left in Alvaco to buy the election? What he got caught with was for Freeport. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Is this still a nothing burger? Where is Fred when you need him? Is this a nothing burger? I don't think it's a nothing burger now, Dexter. It's turning into something else. It
It's
begins
not-
with N, but not enough.
The burger. Yeah, it's not a nothing burger. And the part where the judge says the weight of evidence against the defendant is very strong, that kind of, raised my eyebrows, because I'm like, okay, he's not the final word on it. And like I said, they have to go through trial, but he's just making an assessment as a neutral arbiter. He's saying the weight of evidence is strong. They called Mr. Gardner potential danger to the community. Now, let's look at the optics of this. Someone being deemed a substantial danger to the community in business with our government, securing contracts, big contracts, just messy. Can't just stay silent on it. You got to do something, because the narrative, and I remember this from the start, that the former U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York, Mr. Williams, painted was about systemic corruption, and almost that it infected, every branch. And now you have different institutions, different questions. Don't forget there are questions over there at civil aviation that they haven't answered yet, whether or not there's even been an investigation into the crash. Institutions getting touched by this one case, and our government's position for some reason is, okay, we're just going to be absolutely silent.
All right, we got to get to the break in a second, but Naughty, you could go hug a mango tree, ganap tree, or sugar apple tree. And
That's good, right? Let's hug a mango tree.
no, I'd rather hug you if I could hug a mango. Let me hug you. But I may hug a ganap tree. I love some ganaps. Maybe anybody got good ganaps from me and MJ? We're not sure some good ganap, man.
Awesome plums, man. I haven't had plums in so long.
That's true. Them hog plums is what you're talking about, right?
Hog
Or cocoa
plums could work. No, hog plums could work. I get cocoa plums. I get, my sister has the in on that. But yeah, I haven't had hog plums in so long.
Yeah, that might be. If you need to track down some hog plums, listeners, if y'all got a dibs on hog plums, let me know. And good ganap.
Tell us where to find some.
Let me know. I ain't talking about these little ganap. Oh, they sweet and you taste them, and when you taste them, all your eye roll in your head because it's hard. Naughty and MJ, good afternoon, politicians. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 11 through 16 need to stay inside, including the speaker during the flyover.
Gonna be loud, very loud.
I had a joke right there, but you know what? Let me leave Madam Speaker. I can leave that alone. Good afternoon, Naughty headlines. Gardner said money was for campaign. This is progress. I love it. I love this progress. Naughty Mr. Gardner is our newest celebrity. As far as most Bahamians are concerned, nothing will happen to him. We don't have anyone in charge. Who cares? Business as usual.
I mean, he is trying. He was trying to secure bail. He was willing to. About GPS tracking. He was willing to, put a piece of property. I think he has some ownership stake in order to secure bail. Give up his travel documents, although I don't think he had them on him. Maybe he did. He was traveling by plane. Maybe he did. But he was willing to do a lot in order to, get out of the prison that he's in right now. And the judge said, no, there's basically nothing that you can do that's going to convince me you are not a high flight risk. So he's going to have to remain behind bars.
Very interesting. And this is going to get more interesting, and the plot is going to get even thicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not.
Shakespeare said it. Politics breeds strange bedfellows.
And another thing that they did in their filing, the prosecutors also tied it right back up into a neat bow again. Politician 1 being the person whose name was on that envelope, and the same person who allegedly brokered a deal to move $30 million worth of cocaine, and did so.
No, that's a lot of yayo, man.
Did so in our parliament. So they're not retreating from those accusations. They are reinforcing those accusations.
Let me get back to the text lines. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. According to the reports, Halkitis and senior police officers had executive positions in this company. They would have both had meetings to review revenue streams and the balance sheet. If the U.S. can show money unrelated to business contracts flowing through the account, how could a senior police officer and a financial analyst not ask where all this money coming from?
Well, there are definitely still some due diligence questions out there that have not been sufficiently answered. And to be quite honest with you, even what he put in the public domain himself with his court filing, saying that I'm going to take cash out to deal with out of a business, not a personal account, not through the campaign specifically, but as cash, and it's to do with election campaigning work and so forth. That's the problem, and we know why it's a problem. But everyone wants to pretend they don't understand what's happening here, and that includes whatever political party or campaign may have benefited from contributions in the past from Mr. Gardner if they took place, or if they with this cash. I mean, is any party going to go on record and say that they didn't receive any contributions from him, or that they did not anticipate him donating to the campaign on the day of election?
Well, that remains to be seen. Now we know how this administration go. They probably mum's the word.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger, right? Everybody else, the man is in court linking campaign, but everybody else is making the Bahamas look bad. Everybody else is trying to give us literally these things are being put on the record in the United States for all the world to see. And it's let's not talk about it. No, that's not how good governance works.
You got to stop the ostrich approach when it comes to dealing with problems with this nation. Anyway, let's take a quick break. Flip side of the commercial break, we'll be back. We'll get into the second portion of the first hour of the Friday, June 26th edition of Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ, which continues right after this.
Yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, you gotta, then you gotta, then you gotta, yeah, yo. I see a lot of young dudes going to jail for gun. I don't know, they must think going to jail is fun. And I see a couple things that kind of see dudes behaving like
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new Barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new Barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
One a night she'll actually remember, presented by NASA HoloWorld, NASA's only holographic experience inside Marathon Mall. Solve mysteries together in Everworld, get lost in the cosmos in Star Wars. Brave, trick or treat if you're feeling bold, or go head to head in Primal Fighter and Astral League. Loser buys dinner. You can find us on the web at nasaholloworld.com. Walk-ins welcome, make it a night.
Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John Shoes.
It's like home, no place like home. Place like home, there ain't no place like home. I stand, tell me pack my clothes, them by. Trump, them must see think I homeless, by. Need a doctor cause I homesick, by. Thank the Lord I get home. I come in home, tell my Grammy break, jump, the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from those days. Buy one ticket and I on my way. I come in home, tell my mommy bake Johnny Red. Tell my cousin how I'm cold got back. Tell the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from no state. I come in home, it ain't no place like home. 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 It ain't no place
We're
like
back
home.
at you on the Friday. The Talking Heads, Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Ghetto Pick Me doing it to you right there, boy. No, I coming home. You say let's do some Bahamian. I doing some new school Bahamian today, man. These young fellas and young ladies, they doing well. The new breed of Bahamian artists.
Yeah, no, I love it because they do a little bit of the mix. You know, sometimes they put some rake and scrape in there, so it's not like they're totally like disregarding our past. On the contrary, they kind of pay homage to the past great artists, but they mix it up with their new flavor. So yeah, props to our new Bahamian artists doing big things and making us very proud.
Oh, let's get back to the text lines real quick. Naughty and MJ, I ain't gonna lie. Everybody on the street know who Player is. This guy knows the high and the low. His tentacles stretch a lot of places. He's no stranger. As for me, I don't know him personally. People I know him. Okay, so you're going on secondhand information.
No, so the court, so the prosecutor.
I get your point.
Yeah, the prosecutors also allege that Mr. Gardner has what they call extensive political connections in the Bahamas, including with politician one, and he also has an extensive criminal history. They said, he has a strong connection with Bahamian officials.
Huh?
I mean,
as Woody the Owl would say,
that is not exactly. That's not a nothing burger. That is a lot to be alleged about our country in official filings. Like, come on, this is a lot.
Naughty, what you mean where the money coming from? The writing is on the wall, in print at that. Oh, see, I was looking for it in cursive. And it's in print. Let me go back and look at the wall. Give me a second text. I can tell you if I see it or not. Naughty, Zane said mentioning Gardner's name is treading on dangerous grounds. Leave him alone, please. Rooted on fear. No, boy. Rooted on fear.
But imagine that.
Rooted on fear.
Imagine that a minister standing up in Parliament saying that. We still don't get the exact context he's using the word danger in, but you now have a judge saying that Mr. Gardner is a substantial danger to the community. And this is a person that our government is in business with. This is a person that some or other campaign allegedly was in business with, in bed with. Yeah, you can't keep burying your head in the sand, hand waving, talking about malicious gossip, frivolous gossip. Now you not only hear what the prosecutors are saying, we've heard from the defense, and we have the judge who is not, the case is far from over, but just the basic assessment saying that the weight of evidence against him is very strong. This is not a nothing burger. And all the politicians running around, ducking and dodging, trying to pretend that they don't know nothing about nothing. It looks like, the further along we go, the more that this case is going to expose how the posture they've taken, which is like pretend nothing is happening, or pretend the opposition is making this into a thing, which is entirely not the case,
Let's get back to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Let's do a little Netflix, because when you look at the fact that in Venezuela we have earthquakes without aftershocks, which is concerning because, they're supposed to let the earth settle down, but this earthquake ain't got no aftershock. This means this earthquake coming a little bit harder next time. You see, because we are now at the intersection of crime and politics in the Bahamas. And what's so beautiful about it is it's being directed by foreigners. So the only stake in the game they have is to suck us as much as they could because we just lay ourselves out to them. Come on, tell me, how can I take what we call dirty money, deposit it, and then withdraw it, and then all of a sudden the money is clean?
Well, we don't know the original source of funds, but according to his court filing, the money was withdrawn from a business account, a business that does business with our government, and it was being used for campaign. It's so messy. It's so messy.
Yeah. So maybe was listen, look, and then decide to stop because I believe a lot of people are hoping that this guy went down with the plane, then surviving the plane crash because now he's going to really do some exposure. I hope he strikes a deal and let's Netflix series of it, man, because the Bahamas seem to be setting up for a great. Maybe that's the only way someone can make some money out of this, some legitimate money they could deposit through
Thank you.
a Netflix series. What you think?
I'm sure a lot of people would be watching. Thank you so much, caller.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Mitchell said it's a nothing burger. We've established it's a burger that begins with N, but it's not a nothing burger. Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty. What the prosecutor in Garden case needs to do is see whose monies were transferred to with these big contracts so we can see who's benefiting from them. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. It shows how dishonest this government is. I'm really disappointed in some of these Bahamians who want loyalists in this country. PLP, you all are shameless and disgraceful talking about honorable. Child, please. Naughty and MJ, happy anniversary. Appreciate that. I might play that 24 today and tomorrow. Keep playing it, man. You win. Just play it with the Allen game, all right? Guys, I'm passing Robinson Road West right now. Do you think it's time for Helen McDonald to take down her posters because she done change her office color to blue and white? Miss Granasano's poster's coming down by itself. Oh, Lord. All politicians.
Yeah, they should be down by now.
Election overtake on your bloody signs.
Yeah, all of the posters should be now. Y'all know y'all, were very excited and exuberant to go put those posters up. Go take the posters go take those posters down.
Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty. The prosecution also made note of how many planes Gardner owns, and that was one of the reasons why bail was denied. Good afternoon, Naughty. It shows how dishonest this PLP government is. Anyone with a lot of money has influence despite how it looks. Even rich, spoiled brats with billionaire parents in the suburbs in America doing dangerous crimes, looking for fame, using money and social media. Good afternoon, nothing burger with a side of sweet lies. No worries, just progress. You like that one, MJ? Nothing burger with a side of sweet lies.
Y'all acting out on Friday.
Oh, my word. But, when you look at it, though, this is escalating. This is not going away. I want this administration to be painfully aware this is not going away. People are not going to stop talking about it. People are actually going to, continue to talk about it until they get some sensible answers. And sadly, we haven't gotten any sensible answers.
Yeah, and this is interesting because it kind of leaves the proposition that this money, was used for campaign-related expenses. It leaves it kind of. I wonder if the fair is to go on a record and say, well, no, we don't know anything about that, and have him assert one thing in court while something else is on the public record. But, it also is a terrible look to just kind of be silent about the whole thing. I've said from the weeks ago, the key to securing the reputation of the country is to conduct our own investigation, which I know the commissioner of police has said, they had launched an investigation, I guess, when the affidavit and criminal complaint first became public, that they launched an investigation. But this can't be like the one you launched back in December of 2024 that we still haven't heard anything about. These cases they're connected according to the way the U.S. is going about this, the Southern District of New York. And that investigation started 2 years ago. We haven't heard anything about that. Confidence is kind of low that we'll hear anything about this recent investigation. And so what does that mean? That means that the narrative surrounding this whole alleged international trafficking ring is going to be set by the prosecutors in the Southern District of New York. And here's what they've already said. They've already described this as a very, very corrupt environment where you have government officials basically facilitating this international trafficking. That is a terrible look. No pushback from this end. Just absolutely stupid response, because the Americans are not going to stop framing this to the way that they want to frame this. And Mr. Gardner is a Bahamian, so we will be watching his case. But more importantly, the country's reputation is also kind of being brought in. So many institutions being brought into question. And our government that's supposed to protect not only us from dangerous to the community criminals is also not protecting our reputation.
There's something I just want to pivot to, MJ. And I'm going to address this because I do have a solution. And it's come to me. You know, I was approached by somebody at the gas station. It's like, Naughty, I hear you, I enjoy the show, but you was being too critical on the tattoo ceremony on Fort Charlotte. You know, I heard your little remark about the service dogs. I heard about you.
What? We love tattoo, though. But no, on the for real, we love tattoo.
Tattoo is all right, but tattoo ain't changed my whole entire life.
You say it, but I haven't been watching it as much.
That's because you're from Grand Bahama.
Exactly. So it's still, I haven't gotten to the 50th one yet. Where
the motorcycle come out, and then the band come out, and then the dogs, and then the next motorcycle.
I haven't seen as many.
And a dog riding on a motorcycle, and then
it's still fresh to me.
It's like boring, and then the Marines come down the rope, and they have a flash grenade, bang, and.
We could spruce it up though, because you got the Americans bringing their F-35s or
and that's
F-15s,
what came to me. That's what inspired me. That's what inspired me. So to that jabroni, and that's what I refer you to because you're a Dolphin fan. You're an Eagle fan. How you could be a Dolphin and an Eagle fan? That's the name jabroni. Pick one football team. But anyway, I digress. Here's my suggestion. Inspired by America sending the 4 F-35s or 16s, 18s to do the circle and the salute. I was inspired. I think we need to take that confiscated drug plane wherever that is. If that wasn't the one that crashed between Abaco and Freeport, if they still got that. They need to get that up, make sure it operable, get it up, and let it make a couple of laps over Fort Charlotte. But then you let Sabah skydive out of the drug plane over Fort Charlotte.
No. He's done it before, right? In the past.
And then when he comes down, simultaneously, he's going to pull a rip cord. When he's coming down, parachuting down, he's going to grab a cord. And as he lands, he's going to pull it. And that's going to open up the kennels for the police dogs to come running out. But this time, the police dogs got the gun so they could chase their handlers all over the park.
You know what? Let's not. Something different for that, too.
Something different. I mean, you got to shake it up.
Yeah, they are doing us on our own home. We got to, and I'm so happy that, we have a new ministry that deals with culture. So now you got to step it up. Can't have the Americans outdoing us on our own turf, coming with their F-18s. We got to do something big for July 10th.
Got to do something new, something fresh, something progressive.
Stop.
Let's check out gas prices.
Do you want me to do it?
You can do it. Let me sit down. Okay, go ahead.
All right. We have Shell at 703. We have Esso at 707.
Jesus.
Esso at 707.
Dear Jesus.
At 734.
Help me, Jesus.
And then we had Iran today that they're saying that, they did a drone attack on a ship. So I'm thinking this thing is cooling off. I don't know if it's getting hotter, but we can't take these prices much longer. I mean, it is so bad right now. So bad. Back in the day, you could go sit in your car, run the AC for a couple of minutes to cool off when you don't want to run it, in your house, because at least you could kind of meter your use. But you can't even afford that anymore. It's too expensive.
Man, oh man, I never thought, honest to God, that I'd be hearing like $7, $8 at the pump.
And it's worse in Abaco, and I hear even worse in Andres.
I think back to when it was $3.75, $4 a gallon, and my generation was complaining.
Oh, I grew up with being able to put $5 in the tank, and it's like, you're halfway, you're half full. At least
$10 is a good thing, man. Give me 10 on this one, and you knew $10 can carry a little bit, but my God, right now, cray. Let's go ahead.
Hey, great church, knowing MG, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Wait a minute, boy, your boys, them kids riding your car no more. You got to follow the tip jar.
Correct.
For real?
Everyone got to put in tips to get right home now.
And tips starting at $5.
Hey, the boss sent me out for the job, right? I tell him, boy, you got to give me an extra $100 to put in gas in there.
Wow.
Yeah, the bands don't ride off friendship.
Yeah, for real. That's
Yeah,
that
bro,
German
y'all take it easy.
engineering.
Have a good one, Carl. Have a good weekend. It's so expensive. And then to hear the government say, like, oh, well, almost act like they're hindsight. Mind you, Minister Alcides did say that they were looking into it, but how much longer you need to look? Give us some relief. That's been suggested. Other taxes associated with gasoline that you could kind of ease, even if it's just a temporary window until prices are a bit more reasonable. Give us a little reprieve. Give us something. Give us some sort of relief.
I mean, I have to laugh about gas prices now. The other night when you sent me and Starboy to fill up the car, right? I had some fun. I saw some officers at the station, at the gas station at the same time. So I jumped out the car and I said, officers, I'm glad to see you all. I was just about to report a robbery. I was armed. I mean, I was robbed, I would suspect it was at gunpoint or at nozzle point potentially. They said, do you have a description of the individual? I say, see him right there, pump number 7. And I was like, naughty, you is one.
That's basically the way it feels these days. It's a lot.
And then the driving officer had a sense of humor too. He said, man, I did lock him in 7 and 8 up last week with the same foolishness. Look like I got a pass back for them later.
I did look at the bicycle today and I was like, oh, let me go ride this bike around, but let me get used again in case we got to go this ride because that means it's getting rough on these streets. But it's so hot outside, can't even ride the bike because I ain't gonna lie, I can't take the heat.
Naughty, I see what you did just now with Progressive. Thank you very much, Dexter. I try, Naughty and MJ, let that plane fly over, but don't let Sebastian jump out. Just let him throw countless amounts of bombs down. We will take care of the rest.
I'm sure you will, Dexter. Sure you will.
All right, let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll be into the 5 o'clock hour right after the news. We'll carry this over a little bit and we'll talk sports. I'm sure Pearlie will be joining us. So keep it right where you got it. The Friday, June 26th edition of Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ continues right after this. And for all of y'all texting and say, Naughty, you should play Barris. Anyway, here go your Sweet Lies right now to the break. Let it go, Mr. Producer.
Tuesday and Wednesday, every day of the week. And even though I try to tell you that I love you from the bottom of my heart, you had no place for me. It's all vanity. You fell for one of them sweet lies, the kind you doubt still you wanna believe. When the heart's not hearing what the brain is saying and you're weak in the knees. Another sweet lie, the kind you doubt still you wanna believe. When the heart's in doubt, you got to stay out. Now the wine and the roses stopped coming around some time ago, but you won't admit that's so. You pretend. I know it's hard to look your best, wearing the same old shabby dress. You stay at home waiting by the phone for another of them sweet lies.
Turn a trip to Burger King Nassau into a galactic adventure with the Mondo and Grogu Whopper Combo, featuring special shake fries. Whether you're a bounty hunter in training or just here for your way, Burger King Nassau has everything Mandalorian and Grogu related you could want. Grab the toys, the mugs, the crowns, and your crew, and head on down to BK and celebrate the Mandalorian and Grogu adventure with Burger King Nassau. This is the way.
If you set people's teeth on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop without people calling social service on you. Trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
You're listening to Talking Head and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Old folks that tell us things they used to do. Tell us how they used to groove and think. Do the songs of Rick and Script. They say our generation lost our roots and things. There's a part of me that thinks only grew up on it gone, and they try put it in our coffin. This thing give you that feeling.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Burger King, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
Was on a Rick and Scrappy. No, some was told by Gino D. I grew up on Kid. I grew up on Ronnie. I grew up on I. Grew up on Elon Moxie. Really hope that you don't feel. Hope you don't feel cause I play R&B and thing. I don't need my Rick and Scrape. I hope that y'all don't think I let it go. Hope you don't think cause I make rock music and thing. But I don't let TBS play. That I won't play no Smokey Double.
We're back at ya on the Friday, June 26th edition of Talking Heads, Naughty and MJ and the company right up until 6 p.m. We're into the 5 o'clock hour. And of course, Pearly's in the building. I know Pearly zoomed in. What's going on, Pearly Shimo?
Right there. Just chilling.
Boy, what a week it was, Pearly.
Interesting.
Talks upon talks upon talks upon talks.
Yep.
I think it's safe to say it's more than a nothing burger now.
It's a something burger with double cheese.
No, I it begins with an N, but it ends with a Y. That's what kind of burger it is. It's not a nothing burger.
A naughty burger?
No. That would be a good burger. I'm only trying to spell around it because my better half hates me to use this word on radio, but it's a nanny burger we're looking at, Pearly. All right?
Yeah,
That's what we're looking at.
I put that much together and got two,
Yeah, but boy, I tell you, I mean, at some point we have to look at it, and questions keep popping up galore. And we'll get into sports in a second, but there are a lot of concerns, and you see multiple texts along these lines. Good afternoon, Naughty MJ. I hope the incident with Mr. Gardner will not tarnish the Bahamas' image among investors considering business opportunities here in the future. Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty. I just hope the incident with Mr. Gardner doesn't give the Bahamians of the Bahamas a black eye with investors wanting to do business in the Bahamas.
Well, time will tell.
Naughty and MJ, oh my God, I just had a thought. Imagine if the prosecutors quote the words from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Speaker of the House to show how corrupt we are.
I mean, you see the prosecutor say, "Be mind everybody know this is not a nothing burger."
Yep. Good afternoon, Naughty MJ. The Bahamas should the national bird from the flamingo to the ostrich. We specialize in burying our heads in the sand.
Boy, that's
a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. But yeah, I mean, and I don't understand why. And I know MJ's popped back in. I don't understand why is it such a problem. And you can see, I'm still amazed that in 2026, the way the world goes, with the internet, with information readily available at your fingertips, and a blink and a burp and a fart, that's how fast you get it. Here comes denying the obvious in 2026. There's something there that needs to be talked about in this country. And there's far too many people trying to make this a nothing burger when it's really way more than a nothing burger. Why are we still, operating with ostrich politics in 2026? We have to talk about these issues. The more we don't talk about them, the worse we look. But I mean, let me get you guys' take on it.
Yeah,
No, I
it was.
agree.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
yeah, I thought it was strange, the way that the speaker shut down. It's almost like you can't even mention it at all in the House, and then you had the same thing happen basically in the Senate, where you basically can't even speak on it. You can't even speak on matters that are not directly connected to it, but tangentially. Can we speak about this accusation of this widespread trafficking network? That is not, even though it was brought up by prosecutors, that is something that paints a stain on the entire country. But everyone's like, okay, just don't talk about it, don't talk about it. And I think that is the wrong position for them to take. Because as we can see, it's not getting cleaner. It's not just a clean criminal case in New York. Now you have the defendant themselves saying that $30,000 directly connected to a campaign. So it's not getting cleaner, it's getting messier. And we have so-called leaders who want us to believe that there's nothing to see here, but we have a lot of questions, and I think the country deserves answers. We deserve to have some faith in our institutions. We deserve to finally get a response from the Commissioner of Police and the investigators to help us understand exactly what's happening while our country's name is getting dragged through the mud.
I agree.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree any more than that. Gone are the days where we only had the one TV, one radio station. So we have multiple stations. So that means the communication lines should be open. It means that more information should be given to the public, so we have a clear understanding of what we're getting. It's not like don't do as I do, don't do as I say, don't do as I do, or don't worry about what I say. Just keep your mouth shut and move on. I done win the election. I in power now. You got to deal with me for 5. Yes, we do. We understand that, but that doesn't stop finding out information about things that are going wrong. And if you're doing an investigation already, give us a report. Because when just making me think now, how much and how bad is it really out there? And they're not telling us.
Yeah, we definitely should be getting some updates for sure. Don't think Bahamians haven't noticed that there's like only one party in particular that absolutely doesn't want to talk about this, right? There's no mention of which campaign Mr. Gardner was supposedly getting the cash to contribute to or to pay for its expenses. But there's only one party that absolutely seems like, absolutely petrified if you start to talk about anything around this. And that raises a lot of questions, particularly since that party is the governing party. You got to separate whatever's happening in your party and your campaigns with the actual governance of the country. Yes, you may feel a bit uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean you don't move to protect the reputation of the country, because that's your job in government.
Yes. Yes.
And it screams now, moving forward, that we definitely need a Freedom of Information Act. We talked about it.
We need the Freedom of Information Act to be enacted.
Enacted properly and funded properly, so it can function properly.
Yes.
So it can do what it's supposed to do.
And we need
a Procurement Act, and we need to use all of those tools.
Our institutions. The minister running when we asked the question about whether or not civil aviation is conducting an investigation into the crash. Like, why did she practically, appear to dash off talking
Any
about
other questions? Any other questions?
But just ask the question and you're talking about any other questions. What is going on?
I'm not answering that. Don't ask me about that. That ain't none yet. That's none yet. What you mean none yet? None your business.
It's such I don't understand why they're taking this position. It's so strange.
Well,
let's get to the phone lines. We got Dennis on the line. Talking Heads.
Yeah, good day, Madam MJ. And the naughty one. And Mr.
Hey, Dennis.
That stinky triple decker burger covered in mustard. You get any food coloring to glaze or fry some buns blue, because that's all in PLP colors. Mustard. Mayonnaise. Ketchup and hot sauce to blame it on the F&M or the COI. Y'all, I told y'all it's coming. Y'all just sit back, but we could take a break now until in September. They ain't want to answer nothing. And Lady Rolex from Elizabeth, she running. That's why she running. She knows some things. I gone.
Ooh la la la.
We don't even know who knows what, but even from the government side, even engaged. I mean, what a terrible look while our name is being dragged all through the courts in New York.
Good afternoon,
That was
Naughty
the
MJ
thing.
and Pearly. The more information that comes out makes the government look bad. It is said that he withdrew funds from his business account. So who is listed on the company documents in the Register General's Department? For false declarations? ? Also, his lawyer said the funds were for election purposes. It was obvious which party. Another question: who chartered the plane? Good
Right.
afternoon.
But the question is, what are the election purposes on election?
That's
Everything's
the
supposed to already
question.
been set. You shouldn't really have much money to spend other than you have to go buy more ice, stuff like that. But so what you need all that money to do? What you doing with all that money?
Yeah, and why was there an envelope with a politician's name on it? I mean, what's happening?
Why you had 3 cell phone?
I don't know. I mean, I know plenty of people who got 2 and 3 cell phone. I ain't worried about that too much.
How many you got, Pearly? You got more than one.
I have nothing
I
to
know,
say.
right?
Good afternoon. Naughty MJ and Pearly. It raises questions or answers them. Silence is an answer. Nothing burger with sweet lies. Progress. All right, we got C. Allen on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Yes, hey, how y'all doing to all of you today? Good afternoon to the Royal Bahamas.
What's going on, C. Allen?
I want you guys to not forget the part that it says that the government lent this guy $20 million.
Oh, we haven't forgotten that.
Okay, see, because the problem is that there's been denial for about 3 years when the legal opposition has been asking for clarification on that. And so it is now that. My question would be, maybe that $20,000 came from the $20 million that he got in the bank. So
yeah, we don't know. But withdrawn from a business account raises questions.
But let me see. You could withdraw
give to political parties.
No, but let me say this: you could withdraw $20,000 from the bank, but it doesn't have to be the same $20,000 you're found with. See?
Oh, I mean that's all. I know I get your point, and that's speculation, but
it's speculation that the money's the same. It's assumption. All of these are assumptions.
Agreed.
Okay, is one assumption greater than the other?
No.
Okay,
but the thing about it is, where they mentioned the loan, that does involve us because that's direct. They literally said a government loan, and now they're linking it to this, this case. So
yes, which this would give for me. This goes as much maybe another commission of inquiry because we have not. When you look at the PAC and what has been sort of, even a PS that won't answer. You can have a financial minister of finance who will most likely not going to pay at the PAC and everything else. And so essentially what you have a government that has been governing in darkness for 4.5 years before, and they're going to pull the curtain in that dark room. And so it's going to get even darker as far as information is concerned. We see the position the government has taken to make sure that no information, nothing is discussed on this, everything else non-existent. The court system that we sent hundreds of our behemoths away to face in the United States is now nothing but a speculation, untested allegations that is made and everything else. And so it seems as if the law and order, the way we know it, has basically been collapsed because we must go back to the first 2004 indictment because the things when they talk about law enforcement, whether it be the police, the defense force, customs, immigration, people in government and politicians were all plural. And so when we look at this in a fully context, we have a crisis of governance that we're having no matter what anyone says. And because we did not know the truth when we made the decision to continue, but now we need to keep this press. So we have the ability to sustain this by looking past the gaslighting, the fire hosing, the reverse gaslighting, the Gallup Gillish, all of those different things. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Alan. I mean, like I said, this is not going away, though.
No, it's not.
This is not a nothing burger like it's being dismissed as. This is not going away. This is going to be a permanent.
What this does also is if we were to give up some big concessions to the Americans right now, I'm gonna like what? I'm gonna look at it with a jaundiced eye. I'm gonna be like, something ain't right. Something I need more details. So I all of a sudden be given this something, and particularly if it's something that we've been stenching on, I'd be very interested.
Yeah, I mean, it gets muddy, and then you're gonna have a lot of speculation out there. I think the best course of action is for us to do an actual thorough investigation here. And what do they say? Let the chips fall where they may. That should be happening, and we should be in front of the Americans. How come they're telling us everything? How come they're calling someone that the Bahamas government has done business with a danger to the community, but the person is fit and proper to get multi-million-dollar loans? We really have to, make sure that we understand what's happening at home. There are many due diligence questions that are now tied up in this case, but the fact that we seem to always be on the back foot, like that's a problem for me. I'm not concerned about the individuals in this, I'm more concerned about the country. And so if persons did things and they need to be held accountable, do that. But you don't just let the whole reputation of the country get dragged down because you're scared some of your people may be caught up in this thing.
Yeah. And when Minister Mitchell made the statement that the fact that the opposition is talking about this a lot is ruining the reputation of the Bahamas, I thought that very laughable because I'm like, come on, the fact that y'all do business with this dude and your name's getting called and all this stuff is being called is damaging his reputation. And we're not concerned about that at all. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, he's trying to flip that around.
It makes me believe that we as a people turn a blind eye to corruption in this country.
Which we've worked a long time, and many Bahamians very hard to salvage our reputation after, similar accusations like this were rampant when we were young. I mean, come on. We know the reputation we had.
Yeah, I know, but it's I don't know. It's scary, and the fact that you're gonna is like saying, "Oh, he do it too." Does that make it right?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know about that. I don't know about
the problem.
Blame the opposition parties for trying to deal with this thing head on. No sense. Obviously, it's just political spin, but it's also weak spin because now the more we learn, the worse it looks. We're not speculating anymore. Mr. Gardner's own filing said that this $30,000 was to do with campaign expenses or what have you. So it's no longer speculation. We got that on the record now.
Yeah.
And we've always been too easy and ready to conform when we know things are not how they're supposed to be. At some point, we got to be able to call wrong what wrong is and make mention of it.
Yeah.
We got to stop turning a blind eye.
You got 33 seats. If you get to dump 1, 2, or 3 people that ain't you.
And it's important to do it because we have to, shore up our institutions. If we have a problem with due diligence, now is the time to fix it. You know what I mean? If we have a problem with civil aviation and having basically ghost planes flying up and down the islands and they don't have the proper certification and we don't even know how they get to be flying and they end up crashing, now is the time to fix it. Pretending that there aren't lessons for the country to learn out of this big episode is crazy because not only does it mean that you're likely to repeat the same mistakes that are damaging our reputation, but it also makes people look at you and wonder, are you even doing your job? We paying you to do a job. What are you doing?
Yep.
Off this real quick, and I will in a second. Let me make sure. Yeah, latest text coming in saying Mitchell is going to choke on this same burger of his. But let me pivot to this, Pearlie, and you could help me with this because you're a little more veteran than me, and I'm not calling you old when I say that.
Yeah.
In your opinion, apart from the service dogs, has anything changed about tattoo in the history of your life as a Bahamian, especially from being in Chippenham?
You mean something special? Like a special show?
Yeah.
Something different? I know they basically do pretty much the same show every year. There's no...
Except for the service dogs. They changed them up.
I mean, and maybe they use different people, but I haven't seen anything that
it's
say,
the same routine.
I'm excited to come see it this year because it's something different.
Well,
they may tweak it here or there, but nothing that punches you off your leg and say, boom.
Wouldn't this work better if the confiscated drug plane circled over Fort Charlotte a couple of times like how the American jets could do in tribute to America's 250th anniversary, and then Sabas jump out of the confiscated drug plane and parachute down like Big Bang And then when he coming down, pull a ripcord that opens up a kennel that lets all the police dogs out who are now armed, and they chase their trainers all around the fort. Do you think that'll work better?
What?
Would that be more exciting?
No.
Well, ask you what question would be on there. I have to ask that to be get up
If Sebastian jump out the confiscated drugs, throw out money, and then everybody in Fort Charles.
We need to get together and write a play because you could be write a movie because you're a good playwright.
But I mean, Pearlie, he thinks that Tattoo is boring now. I still, I haven't seen it as many times as he has apparently. So I still feel like, there's value there. But maybe we could step it up and do a couple of things different. I mean, you got the American flying objects. We need to do something this year.
You pretty much. I mean, it's nice. I don't want nobody to get it wrong. That it is nice. But I would like to see some new twists, something exciting. I mean, Naughty's imagination is a bit too far to the left, right? Way too far. Not a bit, way too far, right? But it'd be something to see something a little different. Hey,
let's go, Seabreeze. Let's go, Leslie. Get Sebastian to jump out the drug playing, man. That'll put it right over the top for everybody.
But it's great Bahamian music. The entertainment is always good. But I like to see some new twitch, something,
All right.
Yeah.
But, I'll be there.
Of course, regardless.
Yeah. I think Bahamians just go and know what's coming next.
Yeah, we know it's coming. We could, we know the program. That's why they don't have to print programs.
Oh, the brown dog from last 10 years must be dead because I don't see him now. They replace him with when next brown one, but he got
where that little poodle coming from? Nah, I tell you what would bring some excitement to it. If they was to bring that police officer who's direct traffic on $20 million highway in the roundabout road there by Shell.
I haven't seen him. What does he do? What he doing?
Bring him. He puts on a good stop you, let you go kind of routine.
Is that the one who's moonwalk too?
No, I ain't never seen moonwalk. I can't say, but Lord, he's do some things there. And then there was another one they had about a year or so ago who was somewhere and he was twisting and turning and directing. Let's bring some of them kind of crazy things. So that'll be kind of fun,
Boy, you got to do something. Tattoo's coming in. Yeah, boy, Naughty, I agree with you. Some changes need to be made at the tattoo celebration.
Yeah, and I want a long fireworks show this year. I saw plenty of fireworks during the campaigns. I hope y'all save some money so y'all can put on a really good fireworks show this year.
No, that'll be nice. You have to a really good fireworks display, but be kind of cool.
I wonder where they can get the money from that, though. I mean, Gardner and anyway.
No, I tell you what will be good, and I know certain people can call me around me. We should use different reverends to pray this year. Can't be the same ones we use in every year in and out, the same person, same ones. We should get some different, some young and energetic prayers. Because there's something about 9 or 10 prayers.
Right. Yeah.
Sound like you want some short, energetic prayers, Pearlie.
You will get some calls,
Pearlie. You got to let the Catholic Church, you got to let the Methodists, they got to let the Anglicans, then they got to let the Church of God, they got to let all these other churches get one. So it's be at least 10, maybe 12 prayers sometimes. Not saying that we shouldn't have it, but we got to come to a common ground on some things.
I agree that God should be, put first in all things.
Yes, amen.
But God is a patient, understanding God, and God would understand that if everybody had a 3-minute prayer time limit, that would work good for everybody too.
Yeah, but
you get some people's borderline 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-minute prayers.
But it's good. The difference between a prayer and a sermon, and some of them is turning their prayer into sermons. And it's just a prayer. You're praying. You're praying for whatever they tell you to pray for the country, the leaders, the whatever. You're praying whoever your segment is. It's not a sermon.
Yeah. They may say we need a lot of prayers.
The same ones every year. The same one. Well, no, it's going to be a different one this year because there's a new president of the Christian Council. So
that's
we get
Mr. Moxie. Mary Moxie.
We get a different
what they should pray for is a new routine for the tattoo and a new program for the tattoo. Spruce it up. That's what they should pray for.
Yeah. Or maybe let immigration raid the crowd.
Imagination. What?
That's a good one too, right there, boy.
Immigration had roadblock on Infantry Road yesterday. Then yes, they were stopping cars and checking, you know.
I have seen them, and when I see that, I'm just like, okay, immigration doing their job. But my gosh, Pearly, read the crowd. What a time! What a
But
time!
I tell them, I read the crowd be fun. I mean, not fun, but it'd be like, you know.
I can't with y'all. I cannot.
Doctor just stand in and say, "Babe, Freddie's suggestion sounds like an ice tactic."
Okay, at the ball games, no sir.
No, but let me call it. I'm only being facetious. I'm only, I'm only joking. I mean, strictly in a trying to feed on my Joker's wild friend, you know.
But this issue definitely gonna cry about it. So you gotta sometimes, have a laugh, take a step back, and then approach it, from a different angle, and maybe not take ourselves so seriously and admit that we got some issues we need to deal with.
Some people can be mad at me. Yeah, really talking, but read the crowd. What are you talking about? I'm only kidding.
You can get more calls about that switching up the previous part.
You joking? You joking? You got some COIs going right now, but we need to recruit him. That's a good idea right now. We need to recruit him, but let's see if we can go out there and do that.
Why do you be on the radio? Words I didn't want to say on the radio.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
It's Friday, man. It's Friday. What can I say?
I know. That's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Let's get to this break. Flip side of the break, we'll talk some sports, and we'll get you ready for the weekend. And don't forget to join Pearly and myself and Statboy and Mega on Sunday for the Press Box, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio, where we talk all sports, local and international. We'll get you caught up on everything. All right, but we're going to take a quick break right now. Flip side of the break. We'll be back, and we'll be talking sports on the flip side of the break. So keep it right where you got it.
Big fire in an MLB.
We're going down with all them songs, then. I still just want to jump around and sing songs by ancient man and things. Some of the greatest stories ever told was on a Rick and Scrapey. No, some was told by Gino D. I grew up on Kid. I grew up on Ronnie. I grew up on I. Grew up on Elon Moxie. Really hope that you don't feel. Hope you don't feel cause I play R&B and things. I don't need my Rick and Scrape. I hope that y'all don't think I let it go.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Join me, Naughty, Earl the Pearl, and the rest of the crew from the Press Box each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM as we talk sports. All of your Major League sports, Major League Baseball, the NFL, and the NBA each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio. It's the Press Box. See you on Sunday.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters
Print Masters, bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Girl, you look so good. I would drink you like rum. Pour you all over my tongue. Beautiful. Girl, I wanna hold you like a cup of Henny, lick you like food so slam you like God, love you like Christmas bonus, squeeze you like my last dollar, kiss you like food was good, touch you like road on Friday, need you like a trip day Zuma. Tell your ma and your pa that they did something special. There's a rhythm in my heart when you're the one I'm next to. And I don't wanna lose that. If I did it be a news flash. Saying donkey on the loose, that it always your excuse. I be begging, kissing boots, making promises to you like girl.
We're back at you on the Friday, June 26th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty, MJ, and Purdy and your company right up until 6 p.m. I'll be talking sports. We got a couple of minutes before we get out of here. We got a great Rich Eisen taking us home today. Tom Pelissero sitting in, as a matter of fact, and discussing all things NFL and NBA. So you definitely want to check that out. And Purdy, like I said, we got lots to talk about. Let's open locally, and then we'll get to the international news. And I know you got a big Major League Baseball firing we're going to talk about. Eastwood hosts annual judo tournament. BAAA names teams for the summer track and field meets. Clark loses in the quarters in Florida, this out of tennis. The Bahamas Golf Federation names team for Caribbean Amateur Golf Championships. Fidelity teams tees off as title sponsor for UB Golf Invitational. Swim Nationals get underway at the Betty Kelly Kenning Swim Center. And my nephew, Jalen Moss in town doing big things. Way to go, Jalen! It's my boy. And of course, you know, we got B.J. Murray doing big things in minor league baseball. He is tied for the top spot and hitting in the International League of AAA baseball. He's hitting .328 on the season. He's definitely got to get a cup of coffee end of the year, Purdy.
Yeah, probably in September. Who's he?
He's with the Cubs.
Yeah, he'd be able to probably get a call up.
They need to play him at first base. He hits, he got power, and he can play first base. Who they got at first base right now?
I don't even remember who the Cubs got at first base right now.
Keep an eye on that, though. He definitely need a call up, and he definitely need a cup of coffee for sure.
Will be interesting to see.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's pivot to the World Cup. Let me get the scores in from today.
No games yet. They don't play till the first game isn't until 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, today, June 26th, we got one in already. Senegal 5-0 over Iraq.
Today?
Friday, June 26th. France 4-1 over Norway.
Oh, yes. Those are the early games. Sorry, my bad. Yes. Now,
Then at 8 o'clock,
that been right there. That been right there. With France beating Norway, I think we may have a situation in that group. I'm almost certain we have a situation in that group. I'm going to check right now, because France and Norway were tied at two wins each. France beat Norway, so that France has 9 points. Oh no, so they're okay, because I don't know. It was Senegal. Senegal had lost. Had one win. Senegal had 2 losses. So yeah, there was no threat there for the third place, for the second place. So France and Senegal advances. France with 9 points and Senegal with 6 points. Norway with 6 points.
Games on top tonight. You got Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Uruguay and Spain, both of those games at 8 o'clock. Both of them out of Group H. Then in Group G at 11 p.m., you have Egypt taking on Iran. And then at 11 p.m. as well, New Zealand taking on Belgium. I like Belgium to beat New Zealand. I like Iran to beat Egypt. I like Spain to beat Uruguay to pull the upset over Saudi Arabia.
Well, the big upset was last night, Turkey over the United States. That was exciting.
Indeed.
And beat them like with 30 seconds left.
Hurt their feelings.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
All right, let's pivot to the WNBA. A couple of games on top tonight. As a matter of fact, 3 big games on top. Mystics taking on the Sun. That's at 7:30. You got the Fire taking on the Sky at 7:30. And you got the Dream taking on the Valkyries at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That's a good game. 12-5 versus 11-7.
My dream and the Dreams playing.
I like Atlanta to pull that one off by the 1.5 points. I think they win that one on the road.
It can be tough, but they should be able to.
Yeah. I like the Fire to take care of the Sky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the
I
Fire
like the Sky in that game.
Give me the Fire plus the 5.5 points. And the Mystics quietly have turned their season around. They're 8-8. I like them to cover the 3 points against the Sun.
I like that too.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And then if you go ahead.
Big game tonight. Dodgers in San Diego.
Yes, indeed.
Will we open our 9-game lead up tonight? Or
Who got fired in Major League Baseball today?
The Mets.
So the
The Mets
fired
fired
their
their manager
coach.
today.
They
The
fired
Mets
their
fired.
manager.
I'm trying to remember his name. I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
So at this point in time, it took the Mets this long.
I knew, I saw it coming, but I didn't think it was gonna. I thought it made a. They fired Carlos Mendoza. That's his name, Carlos Mendoza.
Right, Mendoza after 34-47 start.
Yeah, Andy Green take over as interim coach. I thought they were gonna ride it to the All-Star break and then maybe they'd ride him out for the season. But so I was a little surprised that I'm surprised they took this long, but I'm surprised they also went this early.
Major League Baseball Players Association proposes ban on prop betting. So as to say, hell no. Hell no. That's one of the best things to do in baseball is prop bets. Who got this many strikeouts? Who can have this many hits? Who can hit a home run? Come on, man. You're taking all the fun out of it now.
I don't think they're looking at it on the side of the bettor. I think they're looking at it on the side of the athlete.
Of course. You know, exactly. Because they don't want
it can corrupt athletes. It's kind of scary.
That's a valid point if you look at it from the integrity of the game standpoint.
Yeah.
But from the better standpoint, leave that alone, man. Don't trouble that. And some news coming out in the death of former running back Doug Martin, the muscle hamster. Investigations show that excessive force was used in his incarceration, his detention, and his death. The lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court. Leslie and Douglas Martin said their son was experiencing a mental health crisis in October. When responding, Oakland police officers held him face down while one or more officers pressed on his back. The lawsuit alleged this restraint was a substantial factor in causing his death at the age of 36.
Wow.
And he was a good one when he played. Did great for Tampa Bay. All them years in Tampa Bay, too. Good little running back.
Yeah. That lawsuit can be something else. Boy.
Yeah. And Oakland, again, they always seem to be involved in those kind of things. They have a history of that. All right, let's get to the break, Pearly. We'll be on Sunday for the press box. So be sure to join us from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your weekend as you get into your weekend and get in safely. And remember, like I always tell you, engage your brain in gear before you put your mouth in motion. Now they avoid a big commotion. All right, let's get out there and have a great weekend for MJ, for Pearly, for Mr. Producer, and everybody who called in, texted, and chimed in. It's your boy Naughty. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Sunday right here for the press box.
All right.
It ain't no place like home. 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 Oh, they must think I's Lauren. Yeah. So don't treat me like no refugee.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johns.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
Guess who's back?
It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
What's more likely?
Never say never, but never.
Hey, everybody, what's up? So we'll do What's More Likely next week in 8 days or whatever. 9 days?
Or today.
7. If it's every Thursday, it's 7 days.
Well, normally it's Friday. But we count, you have to count the day.
But that would be not this Friday, next Friday.
You have to count the day you're living.
The next.
We're still living this day. You guys are
Yes,
crazy.
but you're on the day.
But if we're going
on the day,
But
we
if
agree to disagree on this one.
Thursday morning and you're going to dinner Sunday night, that's like 4 full days.
What's more likely, we're going to do this segment, or you're going to keep ranting about this?
There, we want to play this first, Mike Hoskins. Yeah, let's play this first, and let's hear from Brandon Ayuk, who keeps going on his social media and doing weird stuff. Here, let's roll this one.
And if I'm crazy or if I'm capping, some boys cut me today. And I'll sign with the Commanders tomorrow. We'll see who's gapping.
Then there was another one today where he's got a backpack in an empty closet and he's just throwing cash on the ground. Have you seen that?
Had not seen that one.
Oh, yeah, this one right here. Look at this. He is in an empty closet. It's completely white. There's a backpack on a shelf in there, TJ, and he pulls out, I'm guessing they're $100 bills, and he's just throwing cash on the ground. Now, is he implying that that's all the 49ers cash that they've given him?
I hope that this is like an Andy Kaufman style performance art.
Sure.
And not the sign of a man who is on his last nerve. And I mean that seriously. Like, I hope Brandon Ayuk is just being funny and is not unwell through the course of this. The fact that every video is him alone doing these things strikes me as odd. Listen, here's what the situation boils down to. Brandon Ayuk, it doesn't matter how many videos you post, how many names you call the 49ers and their front office, how many different times you say you want to be on the Commanders and you got a Commanders hat and a Commanders football and you love the Commanders and go Commanders. You have to show up. The only way you get cut is if you show up to the facility. Force the 49ers' hand, force them to move you back to the active roster or release you. They can't really move you back to the active roster because all that money that you're owed would suddenly hit the salary cap. That's what you do. Yeah. No one's doing it right now because teams are off for the next few weeks. But you need to show up to the facility once the 49ers are back. And at that point, you force their hand as opposed to them just being able to go, we don't care. We want to trade you. No one's trading for you. You're still on the team.
What's more likely, the team that Brandon Ayuk plays for this season, the Commanders or the field?
Commanders. I don't know that there is another team right now that, frankly, wants to get involved with it. His in with the Commanders is Adam Peters is the GM. He was in San Francisco when they drafted him. And Jaden Daniels, he played with him at Arizona State. I don't know how much he's talked to Jaden, quite frankly. He's not allowed to talk to Adam Peters or anybody else in the Commanders organization. I do believe as he said himself, if he gets released, he's going to sign in Washington. And that makes sense. There's not going to be a bidding war for Brandon Ayuk. He hasn't played a football game in 20 months. We don't even know if he's fully healthy, if he ever completed his rehab. So, yes, the Commanders is absolutely the team to beat, if not the only team.
We heard from Matthew Stafford earlier, guys, about maybe playing into his 40s. Who's more likely to be the Rams starting quarterback in 2028? Matthew Stafford or Ty Simpson?
How many years from now is that?
That's 2 full seasons. 3 years.
Oh, boy.
I would say what's more likely would be Ty Simpson as the quarterback in 2028. That's not to doubt what Matthew Stafford can do. They're coming into a season where all eyes are on winning the Super Bowl. For Stafford, he signed an extension, which we talked about earlier in the show. It is an extension, but it wasn't a guarantee that he's still the quarterback in 2027. Everybody has options then. And then in 2028, they structured these void years to give everybody the option of what you want to do moving forward. I just know this. Matthew Stafford's 40. He's got a wife who's his college sweetheart. He's got 4 young girls. He doesn't strike me as a guy who wants to play until the very last second. Not that he's not competitive, not that he's not still playing at a really high level because he was the best player in the league a year ago. More so, I could see him choosing at some point to walk away. A lot's going to have to do with health and where he feels like he is in his career. But the idea that we're 2 years into Ty Simpson's career, a guy who sat for 3 years in college before playing one season, and now he's going to play 1 year out of 7, we'll see. If Stafford's still playing at a high level, I don't anticipate Sean McVay and Les Snead ever chasing him off. But I would say 2 years down the line, knowing Stafford's injury history, life, how much money he's made, I'll say Ty Simpson.
How about this one? A couple of big tight ends. It's Tight End University Week going on in Nashville. George Kittle and all them boys having a good time. How about this? More likely newly paid tight end you'd rather have in fantasy this year? Kyle Pitts or Brenton Strange?
Ooh, I would say Brenton Strange because we already know what he is in that system. He's been productive based upon how they're structured. I would anticipate Brooks, who does color for their games, posted this after I had the extension yesterday. Like, this is a guy whose production is going to explode. I anticipate Brenton Strange takes on a bigger and bigger role in that offense in Jacksonville. With Kyle Pitts, like we've seen it, it's always tantalizing. He always, we know based on Stefanski being in Cleveland that they were able to production, and David Njoku would have really big games at times in Cleveland. It remains to be seen. We don't even know who the quarterback is in Atlanta. We know Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback in Jacksonville. He knows how to get the ball to Brenton Strange. I would just have to say, if I'm guessing the upside and also the value in the fantasy draft, in other words, where that guy's going to get taken, in your average fantasy draft, I bet 9 out of 10 Kyle Pitts is going higher. I'll take the value of Brenton Strange a couple rounds later.
Tom looking for value. We've been talking a lot about these quarterback battles for the last few months. Probably going to talk about it right up until week 1. Veteran QB in a competition more likely to start more games this year. Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa.
Now that is a challenging one. It's certainly not what's more likely. That would be what's most likely. So you got 3 answers.
The grammar police now? I thought Siciliano hosted on Tuesday.
I don't know. You'd probably say there's only 2 answers on the screen using your math. I will go ahead.
I got the highest math score on the SAT in this room.
I will say Kirk Cousins.
Just got stuck together.
The reason is, at this point, Kirk Cousins, I'd be surprised if he's not the quarterback out of the gate. Fernando Mendoza, as talented he is, as productive as he is, big of a winner as he is, he's got a very significant growth process to play a different style of offense, going from shotgun, RPO, throwing into wide open windows to a under center, play action heavy type of a scheme. And I think that the Raiders want to protect him. Kirk Cousins, has played at a high level. He's had injuries that have created circumstances. So have Kyler, so have Tua. But Tua's in a fight with Michael Penix Jr. I would say going into camp, I would think it's Tua, just because he's had all the time on task already there with the new coaching staff. There may be a comfort level, and Michael Penix Jr. is still coming off another ACL. It may be a while till he's truly 100% again. But how long does that last? And how does it go with Kyler Murray? I'd still say sitting here, I would lean toward it's Kyler Murray as a starting quarterback, but they split it 50-50 the entire time. Kirk's the one who is pretty clearly the number 1 quarterback right now. And if the Raiders are playing well and they're still on task. I just don't know that they really want to force Fernando Mendoza out there as a rookie.
All right, a couple NBA ones now before we wrap this up and get on with our weekend, boys. Who's more likely to go further in next year's NBA playoffs? Been talking about these guys a lot this week. Giannis or Jaylen Brown?
We don't know what team Jaylen Brown is on at this point.
We do. He's on the Celtics.
You're holding out hope that it's still going to be the Boston Celtics. Meanwhile, we just talked in the last segment to John Krasinski, NBA writer, who said fully anticipates Jaylen Brown is somewhere else, or a lot of the stuff that I've heard and been told, which is Jaylen doesn't really want to be there. He wants a fresh start, and you still have the opportunity to extract value here if you're patient to get the right offer, whether that is Denver. John brought up Cleveland. If it's Jaylen Brown and Jokic, I like that over Giannis and Bam in Miami. If it's Jaylen Brown in Boston, I still probably like it better, but I just don't know that there's a scenario where that's where Jaylen Brown is. I just think it's a hard question right now. I think Giannis Giannis and the Heat are the favorite in the East in my mind right now. So all things equal,
favorite to do what?
To all things equal, I take Giannis and the Heat.
Wow.
If he's healthy, if he is the Giannis that we have seen, he is still one of the most efficient players in the NBA. Leads the NBA every year in 2-point field goals. Is a rebounder, alters the game in terms of defense. He is a game changer. Now, if he gets hurt again, then obviously that upends everything. That would be my concern. He's 31. He's had a bunch of injuries. That's my concern. But all things equal right now, put the Heat right there in the favorites in the East.
West got shaken up with LaMelo going to Minnesota. And we had Austin Reeves, guys, agree to a new contract. See that video of him on the golf course?
Oh, yeah.
He, fell over in appreciation. It's cool. Who's more likely to be the better Western Conference backcourt this year? Luka and Austin Reeves or the Ant-Man and LaMelo?
Whew. Again, with Luka, you just got to wonder in terms of the health and what that looks like. The conditioning stuff's well documented, but he's had injuries. He had another one this year. Whatever it was, he missed 30 games this season. So I would just say, to me, the more dynamic backcourt to me is the one in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now, is LaMelo able to stay healthy? Does this come together? I know this today. Anthony Edwards loves this deal, because this creates somebody who can actually create for him, as opposed to Ant doing what he's had to do a lot, which is create for others, because there's nobody able to draw those double teams away from him.
Who goes further in the playoffs? TJ.
That's a good one, man.
That's fun. It's fun.
West. Well, I can't answer this because of my Laker bias, so I'm going to say the Timberwolves.
But also, are we talking about with LeBron or without LeBron?
That's exactly the case.
And how much does that move the needle at this stage? LeBron is still a plus player. He's not what he was, but he is still a difference maker.
Yeah, it's kind of early to answer this right now, but I'm going to go with Minnesota because of my hatred.
I love being a hater. Guys,
I'm not.
Big movie, last one. Big movie anniversary. I assume that Tom hasn't seen any of these. Where were you on this date in 1996?
1996.
Pittsburgh, I know that.
Okay.
I would have been summer after the 9th grade.
Okay.
Probably playing a Babe Ruth baseball tournament somewhere or something.
And you were probably making plans to go
Mickey
see
Mantle or whatever
Independence Day tonight.
Oh,
Theaters,
absolutely.
30 years ago today. Great movie, great anniversary. More likely movie. What? You've seen it?
I have seen it. I saw it in the theater. Everyone saw it, okay? There was a point in time when I saw movies, and the late 90s would have been that time. I've never thought it was a great movie.
Oh, welcome to Earth. Welcome to Earth. Summer movie you'd likely throw on at the end of your July 4th party. Independence Day, Jaws, or The Sandlot?
Why Jaws?
Wow, I've seen all three of those movies.
One of the great summer movies ever.
Is it with the kids or not? Because that does make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, because if you have the kids, you have to show them Jaws. I think that's...
Also, isn't the end of the 4th of July party fireworks? Where are you that you're coming home from the fireworks at 11 o'clock and then starting a movie?
Your fireworks go on at 11 o'clock?
They end late.
They do? At 11?
10, maybe? And then you got to pick up the blankets and crying kids, and somebody wants a piggyback ride, and then somebody forgot their water bottle, and you got to go back, and everyone's leaving, and you got the parking situation, and somebody can't get their car started, and now there's a traffic jam, and you're stuck out there on a side street. It is pitch black. You're in a neighborhood. You don't want to honk the horn because then you're the jerk. Yes, it takes a while.
That was very specific.
To get back from the fireworks.
Very specific.
The key, the move
Seems like
with
an
the
addiction.
4th of July fireworks display is you convince the kids halfway through to start walking.